Hey, this is Tony with Salt Strong, and in this video I'm going to be unboxing and talking about the Savage Gear Mudd Minnow, which is a topwater hard bait. This one here is 4.5 inches long and weighs almost an ounce. It's about 4/5 of an ounce. So very close to weighing an ounce. Nice heavy topwater lure. Now keep in mind, we do not accept sponsorships. We are not sponsored by any companies. We go out and purchase these products on our own, give you our thoughts. That way you can go out there and decide whether or not you want to purchase them for yourself. Now when you do get to the end of this video, if you did enjoy it, please be sure to give it a like and also subscribe to our channel where we put out videos on a daily basis. So let's go ahead and open this up, see what we're working with here. Again, this is a 4.5 inch topwater hard bait. It's sort of on that bigger end of topwater lures. The topwaters I usually throw are in that 4-inch range. They're very good for trout, redfish, snook, these topwater lures. These bigger lures, I would most likely throw them in the late summer and also into fall, because bait fish are going to be much bigger during that time of year. So it will match those bait fish much better. This color that I'm showing here, this is the olive color. As you can see, it has that green back on there. On the front of the lure, it comes with a split ring attached to the front of the lure. That just allows for better movement, because these lures do a sort of side-to-side walk as they're going over the top of the water. So that split ring helps with movement. However, what I like to do with topwaters is take the split ring off and just use a loop knot. Because with that split ring on there, what happens is your line, when that lure is sitting still, your line's going to hang down, and oftentimes that front hook will catch your leader or your line that's attached to that split ring. If you have a loop knot on there, a very small loop knot, it can help avoid that, because it doesn't weigh down that knot like the split ring would. Now as far as the hooks go, as you can see, treble hooks, large treble hooks here, they look to be in that either number 2 size or even a 1/0 size. Fairly big hooks on there. The rear hook has a feather, which when it's going through the water, it almost imitates like the tail of a bait fish. So that can definitely help on there. But if you're not a fan of that, or if you want to make the profile seem a little smaller, what I'll do is just replace that with a standard treble hook, or replace these with single inline hooks. But what I always recommend with any new lure that I purchase, I usually replace the hooks either way with stronger hooks, and also replace the split rings with stronger stainless steel split rings, just in case you do hook into that trophy fish, you don't want to lose it. Now also, this lure is fairly loud and noisy. It does have some very large rattles on the inside. It has 2 in the back and then 1 up front here. And what I've noticed is that the 2 in the back, when this lure sits in the water, it sits fairly far down on the back end. So very ideal for fish such as redfish that have some difficulty hitting topwater lures when they're up high on the surface. This one sits very low when it's sitting still. So that enables this hook to sit lower in the water. So when those redfish come up, as you know, they're not much of a topwater feeder. Their mouths just aren't made for that. That's why when a redfish comes up to a topwater, you'll see its back come up out of the water, because they have to get very high up in the water to eat that topwater. So when the back of that bait sits lower in the water, this can be a really ideal redfish bait. And now going back to the rattles, again, I said this is a pretty noisy bait, so if you're fishing and it's really calm out, I really wouldn't recommend using a very large, noisy topwater. I would go with something smaller that has less noise. And this is more ideal, I would feel, in very choppy conditions, just because those waves, when they're crashing on the surface, it helps those fish dial in on a bait when it splashes a lot and it's more noisier. So this I would use mainly in choppy or a little bit windy conditions, just because it's a little bit more noticeable due to the size and also the noise. Now lastly, as far as the price goes, these run anywhere from 10 to about 13 bucks depending on where you get them from. But if you're going to invest that much money in a lure, it should definitely be something that's going to last a while, such as a hard bait. Over time, the only thing you may have to replace are the hooks if they start corroding and rusting out. So not a bad price on a lure, especially if you're able to use it over and over again. But again, if you do lose it, That's about 10 or 13 bucks out of your wallet that is now in the water or in a tree or in a fish's mouth. And now, since we are on the topic of products here and price, if you do happen to be one of our Insider Club members, you do get a 20% discount on all tackle, rods, reels, lures, accessories, cast nets, and even sunglasses on our shop page. So definitely be sure to check that out. And if you're not an insider, you're missing out on some really good deals. So that will wrap up this review of the Savage Gear Mudd Minnow Topwater hard bait. If you have any questions or comments, please feel free to leave them down below. Also, we'd like to know your feedback. If you have used this lure before, whether it be good or bad, definitely let us know down below. Until next time, thanks for watching, and I'll see you on the next video.
Hey there, it's Joe Simons, one of the co-founders here at Salt Strong, and have you claimed your free pack of these irresistible Slam Shady paddle tail lures? We designed this lure with over 12,000 serious inshore anglers, including many full-time guides, to go out there and catch more redfish, more speckled trout, more snook, more flounder, more inshore saltwater slams. And if you want a free pack to try out a sample yourself, click down below right now. We have one free pack per angler while supplies last. Click down below right now.